Not every celebrity who walked through the doors of the Muppet Theater deserved to be there. Some showed up, hit their mark, smiled at the camera, and left. Others became part of the fabric of the place. We are not ranking these stars by fame or talent. We are ranking them by one thing: how well they treated a puppet like a living, breathing equal. Level 1, the confused visitor. At the very bottom of this hierarchy sits the guest who never quite arrives. They show up physically, but their eyes give them away. They glance at the puppeteer instead of the Muppet. They pause a half second too long before responding, as if waiting for a real person to answer them. The Muppets demand one thing above everything else: eye contact. Not with the camera, not with the crew, with the felt. Here is the insider fact. Jim Henson and Frank Oz performed while watching floor monitors hidden below the stage, keeping the puppet's gaze precisely locked on camera. They were watching a screen, not the guest. A guest who truly masters this level stops looking at the hand holding the puppet and starts looking into its eyes as if there is a soul behind them. Because on this set, there is. The stars at this level never stop seeing the mechanism behind the magic. Present, polite, and completely disconnected. They are visitors passing through. If you can spot the guest who breaks eye contact with Kermit, you already think like us. Subscribe so you never miss a breakdown like this one. Level 2. The good sport. Moving up, we find celebrities who figured out the first rule: just go with it. They let Fozzie interrupt their monologue. They dance when Animal hijacked the beat. They hit every cue. The ultimate example of this level is Rudolf Nureyev.
Here then, the very princely Mr. Rudolf Nureyev.
In 1978, the greatest ballet dancer in the world came to the Muppet Theater. Sam the Eagle forced the entire cast into tuxedos, trying to keep things dignified. Then Nureyev performed a pas de deux from Swine Lake, a parody of Swan Lake, with a giant full-bodied Muppet ballerina pig the workshop had built just for him, trading the Paris Opera Ballet for a comedy number with a giant felt pig. After that episode, celebrities stopped being hard to book. Everyone wanted in. But there is a ceiling here. The performance is enjoyable, the cooperation is real, but the chemistry is always a little formal. They played the game without ever truly loving it. Level 3. The playful peer. Here's where things get genuinely interesting.
Guest star Miss Bernadette Peters.
Thank you, Kermit. You know, it's really been fun.
Bernadette Peters appeared in Season 2, Episode 12 of The Muppet Show in 1977, and did something most of her peers never managed. She stopped performing at the Muppets and started performing with them. When she sang Just One Person to Robin the Frog, with the rest of the Muppets gradually joining in around him, you did not see an actress doing a charming scene. You saw two performers sharing a real moment. She later said the Muppets were so real, like animals or puppies, that she had to physically stop herself from kissing them. The guest who reaches this level does not act alongside the Muppets. They respond to them. The audience feels the difference, even if they cannot name it. Level 4, the musical architect.
Happy to introduce to you Mr. Paul Williams.
Paul Williams appeared in Season 1 of The Muppet Show in 1976 and never really left. He became the primary composer of the Muppet sound. He co-wrote Rainbow Connection for the Muppet movie,
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow.
which earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song in 1980. He wrote the score for Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas in 1977 and the songs for the Muppet Christmas Carol in 1992.
Kermit, thank you.
Kermit declared him an honorary Muppet in 1976, originally as a joke about his short stature. Williams said, walking onto that set was like finding a family. Stars who reach this level do not just visit the sound of the show, they build it. Level 5, the transformed actor.
Our very special guest star, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers appeared in Season 2, Episode 19 in 1978. It was not a guest appearance. It was a complete disappearing act. Sellers played a wild gypsy, a German masseur who tied Link Hogthrob into a knot, and appeared briefly as Inspector Clouseau in the opening. He refused the standard talk spot, telling producers
Impossible. I could never be myself.
he could not be himself.
Yes?
There used to be a me, but I had it surgically removed.
He told them there used to be a him behind the mask, but he had surgically removed it. That line became one of the most quoted moments in the show's history, and it was not a scripted joke. It was just Sellers telling the truth. He owned tapes of every episode, and once told Dave Goelz that Gonzo was his favorite because he felt a bond between Gonzo and his own Inspector Clouseau. The transformed actor does not arrive. They dissolve. Level 6, the human Muppet.
Steve Martin. Oh, Steve Martin. 15 seconds till curtain, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Scooter. I'm almost ready.
Steve Martin appeared in Season 2, Episode 8 in 1977, right at the peak of his stand-up career before the jerk launched him into movie stardom.
Scooter, more balloons, Scooter! Yes, sir, yes, sir.
That episode was the only one in the show's run with no laugh track. His physical comedy, his banjo playing, his absurdist balloon animal routines, all of it matched the Muppets' energy note for note. He was not a guest, he was just the newest member of the company.
And I know that.
No, I know you know.
Great.
Okay.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Sabrina Carpenter!
Sabrina Carpenter did the same in the 2026 Muppet Show special, the 50th anniversary production that aired on Disney Plus and ABC on February 4th, 2026. She performed Man-Child in a Sam, The Eagle Run, Saloon Full of Frackles and Dancing Chickens, then started a duet of Islands in the Stream with Kermit, only for Miss Piggy to muscle her way in and make it a trio. The Rotten Tomatoes critics' consensus called the special clever, earnest, and exactly right. The human Muppet does not need to adapt to the world of the show. They were already living there. Level 7, the spiritual anchor.
And so thank you from all of us, Mr. Harry Belafonte!
Harry Belafonte appeared in Season 3, Episode 14 on February 17th, 1979, and what he delivered was not entertainment, it was a ceremony. He rarely accepted television appearances, but had deep respect for Jim Henson's artistry. He brought in world music, compiled tapes of songs from different cultures, and worked with the Muppet Workshop to design African mass puppets for the closing number. Henson was meticulous about the research, ensuring the mask would not carry cultural or religious significance. The episode opens with Belafonte performing Day-O, the Banana Boat song. The first time he had ever performed that song on television. The episode ends with Turn the World Around, which Belafonte co-wrote. Statler and Waldorf, who heckled every other guest without mercy, stopped their cynical commentary and sang along through the closing credits. That moment is worth pausing on. They are the show's own immune system, and Belafonte shut them down completely. Not through spectacle, not through comedy, but through pure sincerity. That is the rare moment where the chaos principle yields to awe, exactly what Jim Henson always believed that was possible. Frank Oz said it plainly. There was a tremendous sweetness to everything Jim Henson created, and it was never weak. When genuine heartfelt artistry showed up, even the most cynical critics in the balcony put down their weapons and joined in. Jim Henson cited the Turn the World Around segment as one of his personal favorites. When Henson died in 1990,
Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire.
Belafonte performed that same song at his memorial service. These are not the guests who came to shine. They came to give something, and the Muppets have never forgotten them. The outlier, John Cleese. There is one figure who does not fit cleanly into any tier.
Thank you to our special guest star, Mr. John Cleese!
John Cleese appeared in Season 2, Episode 23 in 1977, and became one of the most iconic guest stars in the show's history by spending his entire episode trying to escape it. Cleese, who co-wrote much of the episode, played a man visibly appalled by everything around him. He stopped the Pigs in Space sketch to announce he was a pirate. He suffered through each bit with maximum dignity and minimum cooperation. The Muppets responded by singing The Impossible Dream at him while he yelled that he was their guest. By refusing to play along, he gave the most committed performance of anyone. He was not a visitor, a peer, or a soulmate. He was the reluctant guest, and no one has ever done it better. The hierarchy of Muppet guest stars reveals something simple but true. Performing with a puppet demands a specific kind of imagination. The ability to treat something impossible is completely real. The celebrities at the bottom are not failures. They just never unlock that particular door. The ones at the top, from Bernadette Peters singing to a small frog who just needed someone to believe in him, to Harry Belafonte building a cross-cultural ceremony out of felt and song, proved the Muppet Theater could hold something real. Not everybody earns their place there, but when they do, you remember it for the rest of your life. If Kermit can get this whole show together every week, the least you can do is hit subscribe and leave a like. The Muppets will be here. Statler and Waldorf will be heckling from the balcony. See you next time.